Some people are born with their own unique talents or abilities. I was gifted with the ability to transfer happiness to other people through touch. I told my mom about this, and just like any good mother, she encouraged me to use my special gift for the good of others. Don't take too much personal advantage of it, she warned. It was a gift given to you. You can use it, but don't take more than you give. And I did. For a while. Mom was my only source of joy and happiness in life, but she was sick. We were poor, yet she constantly reminded me, we might be poor in money, but don't let the world make us poor in love and kindness. I gave people the happiness they claimed they deserved, but when I asked for a favor, to lend me some money to help my mom, no one even spared us a glance. When she passed, I decided to stop giving away happiness for free. People needed to learn that something good comes with a price. Only then would they truly appreciate it, I said to my best friend, Reeve, who also happened to know what I did for a living. The process was fairly simple. Right after my customer handed me the money, I would initiate a handshake, allowing happiness to surge from my body into theirs. This process required my will. No one could take it from me without my permission. But to my surprise, one day I discovered something new. I could absorb and steal other people's happiness without them knowing. It started when I realized happiness was finite. I hadn't noticed it when I was selling it to only a few people a day, transferring small amounts. But when my customer base grew and they demanded more happiness, offering larger payments in return, I drained myself too quickly. It wasn't just the fact that running out of happiness made business difficult. When I had none left, I became depressed. Life felt heavy. I was consumed by grief and loneliness. I hated how it felt. So, I started stealing happiness from others, just enough to keep myself intact. I never took too much. Just a small portion from each person, ensuring they remained whole. Not enough to leave a person hollow, just enough to shave away their joy without them noticing. A little here, a little there, a stranger on the bus, a coworker in passing. But you sell happiness, Elias, Reeve argued. It's strange to think that you steal happiness from one person and sell it to another. That's exactly why, I replied. I didn't drain people dry just for the sake of money. I could, but I didn't. Just think of me as a Robin Hood of happiness. I took from those who had plenty and gave to those who had none. Reeve laughed. Well, you said it yourself, Elias. Robin Hood gave it to the poor, he said, still laughing. You sell it. That's different. In my defense, Reeve, my customers aren't poor, I responded. And I never set a fixed price. It's all negotiable. Like I said, people need to learn that something good comes with a price. Only then will they truly appreciate it. In this case where I absorbed other people's happiness out of them, a handshake wasn't necessary. A brush of fingers, a fleeting touch, that was all it took. I siphoned it effortlessly, absorbing a little warm glow of contentment from unsuspecting strangers. One night, I saw a young man who seemed to have all the happiness in the world. He was grinning wide when I spotted him at the ticketing booth, and still smiling when I sat beside him on the train. I only planned to absorb half of his happiness. I was sure he had plenty to spare. I thought to myself. But the second my finger brushed lightly against him, an overwhelming surge of happiness rushed into me. It was overpowering, consuming. It felt like the happiness of 1,000 people. But the joy felt unnatural. I had been doing this for half of my life, yet I had never encountered anything like it. The sudden flood of euphoria made me dizzy and I nearly blacked out. The moment the train doors opened, I stumbled out, struggling to keep my balance. The world around me felt too bright, too sharp. My veins buzzed with happiness, but not normal happiness. Something deeper. Something sickening. I felt euphoric, overwhelmingly, unbearably so. And then I realized this was poisonous joy. What was that guy? I muttered. Staggering through the station corridor, I fought to stay conscious. I have to let go of this unnatural joy or I might overdose on it. And it wasn't funny, I thought. I brushed my fingers against every person I passed in the crowded station, transferring as much of the cursed happiness as possible. I had to purge myself of this unnatural feeling. Moments later, I heard chaos erupt behind me. I turned back, only to see the people I had touched descending into madness. They were attacking everyone in sight, their faces twisted into unnatural grins. But it wasn't the violence that terrified me. It was their expressions. Grinning ear to ear, eyes glowing red, they looked like rabid, laughing zombies assaulting anyone they could reach, accompanied by uncontrollable, manic laughter. The joy was cursed. It did not bring happiness. It brought a joy so potent it devoured sanity. Okay, that was extremely terrifying, I thought. It was joy. It should bring happiness. What kind of joy did that guy have in him? He was so full of it. I ducked into a nearby restroom, trying to escape the riot, but the unnatural joy still burned inside me. I hadn't drained it all. I no longer felt dizzy, but I felt like something inside me was about to burst out laughing. And I didn't know why. I wasn't angry. I didn't feel hatred. And yet, I had the bizarre, overwhelming urge to bite someone's head off. I turned toward the TV mounted on the restroom wall. A breaking news alert flashed across the screen. The authorities were warning the public about a psychopathic serial killer on the loose, a murderer who claimed that killing was his only source of joy. That murder was his drug of happiness. Then the screen changed, revealing the face of the wanted killer. It was the smiling young man from the train.